everybody. Welcome to the Digital Illustration Storytelling with Jeff Wilson. Today is our February 2022 edition. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. My name is Tom Sternad. I'm the lead digital artist of the Creator Space, and I'm just going to give you a quick intro here, and then we'll hand it over to Jeff, and he'll take it from here. But just want to let everyone know that this is all our partners on this project. So we have the Canada Council for the Arts, then we have our library partners, Blue Mountains Public Library, Collingwood Public Library, and the Wasaga Beach Public Library. So what we have, it's in the next week. I'm actually going to get it over there, but we have iPads available at all the libraries, and Wasaga Beach will be getting one shortly. And the software that Jeff's using is the Procreate software. And so Jeff's a locally based cartoonist, illustrator, and I'm really glad that he can join us regularly to teach these workshops and give his insight on digital cartooning and drawing and so on. And so but Procreate software is great because it's a low-cost app. So for those of you joining us at home, you can access this on an iPad or iPhone, but also through our library partners, you can get access to the iPad with Procreate by taking it out. So just like taking out a book, there's nothing required except that you have a valid library card. Go and take it out, the iPad with Procreate, and then you can rewatch these sessions and follow along with Jeff. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Jeff. Here we go. Here's Jeff.
Okay, thank you so much, Tom, and welcome. I hope again, everybody, and anybody new, welcome for the first time. So it's nice to be here again. These are so much fun for me, and I don't know how to just explain it, but I find I learn as much from these as I probably more than I teach from these, because it's a very experiential experience here, if that means anything to you. But anyway, it's today. I'm going to start off by basically the way I start off when I'm trying to come up with something new, and even if I'm not, even if it's just trying to get my brain into the mode of creating and designing things, and I'm finding at the age I'm at, it's very difficult to get myself back into a creative frame of mind. So this today's lesson will be based on something, a very recent experience of mine, and that is just getting back at cartooning again. Anyway, it's a lot of. I think you'll have a lot of fun as we go along this little journey today. So what I've got on the screen today is basically the way I would start just start creating something, and even if it's not what I'm planning to work on, it kind of gets the creative juices going, and it's very helpful to do this. I'm used to kind of blasting stuff out fast and making a little bit of money for a little bit of work, and it's I used to be able to do it a lot more than I do now. But I think when I'm creating, I'd rather have the time to just kind of explore, rough out new ideas, create new worlds, if you will, and just see where it takes me. And one of the things I do is just create a character, even if it's just a generic character like this that I've created here, and just kind of add details to it. Now, this is a technique that was I've read. Yeah, this is a technique that was done by the great Norman Rockwell, who is pretty well known in historic art circles as doing these amazing drawings, very great storytelling illustrations he did back in the 40s and 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Kind of the iconic American artist, and that the one that really described America to a lot of people, but it described North America really, because Norman Rockwell for a long time lived in New England area, and was very close to Canada, actually, Vermont, which is just south of the Quebec border. And so very similar type of lifestyle, I guess, to the Canadian lifestyle at the time. So what I've got here is a little cartoony character. They're about, let's just take here, I'll just turn the camera to my iPad screen here, and we'll just have a look at this. So I've got a little character here that, let's just kind of measure the head. So I'm going to take another color here in our color. Let's see, our little color thing. I can't think of the word. So we're going to measure the head. So we've got a head here just take our 2 fingers here and then go down here. So it'd be about, that would be another head tall. Down here would be another head tall. So they're about 4 heads tall. Okay, so that's a good fun character. That's a good start for us anyway. So this is going to be, just going to take all that graphic off there. We don't need that on there. We can just hit our undo tool and it'll take us back to the start here. So we can create a character that's 4 heads tall. So it generally could be a cartoony character, but as I can show you here, it could be many different things. Now let's make it, take a darker tool here. Well, I've created a new layer basically, and I'm going to use a black line here. So I'm going to take the pen tool, create an inking tool, use the Studio Pen tool, which is in the brush library here. So it's your sub library is the inking library, and then your main your tool is the Studio Pen tool. So if you look through the tools here, you get some nice textures here. The Pandini is a one I've used in the past for certain textures I want to have in the drawing, but for a nice solid flat clear smooth black line, I really have fallen in love with this Studio Pen tool. I used to use the technical pen, but the lines, I never got the variance in the line thickness. So I tend to use a Studio Pen. This is an example of what it does. If it shows you the stabilization, it tapers. So you have your pressure taper here at the top. You can see the way it shows your, and you can adjust the tip sizes 36%, and there's no, the opacity is right full on. Yeah, so you can adjust this, fine tune it if you like too, which is great. And the shape, yep, so it's generally a nice, yeah, pretty clean. I can even change that a bit, but I do like the way it's kind of there's a bit of a blur around the edge too. So I don't mind that too much, but at the end, it's a nice clear flat line like that. And you can go through here. I don't really know what most of these means, but you can certainly clear that. You could take away the blur there, which is kind of neat, or you can leave the blur a bit there. I kind of like the way it does it, the way it is now. I don't even really want to adjust this, but you can. Yeah, so you can, I really like the nice strong opacity. But yeah, all these things affect the properties of the on-screen version of it. Anyway, so let's just go back here. We'll say done. Just get rid of that here. Didn't want to do that. Now I'm really somewhere else here. We'll go back to our, there we go. And this can go over here, and then we'll hit done. Okay, and I'm just going to move that arrow there. That's a new thing that they've added for these meetings here with Google Meet. So anyway, so I hit that button and it opened it up there. So let's create a character based on this really basic figure here. So we're going to increase the line here and just give it a couple of eyes here. I don't usually do this, and this is a fun time for me if I'm just experimenting, and to just kind of put the eyes somewhere they don't usually show up in my cartoons. So they usually show up here closer to the center of the face. I'm going to put them really far away from it. And it really makes it interesting to me. So right off the bat, I'm kind of faced with this, oh boy, I could do a lot with this character because it doesn't look like any other character I usually do. So I'm going to shape the head this way, kind of like a teardrop, an upside down teardrop. And with the body, I basically will do something similar here. I'm going to put a little line here for the neck, and then kind of the torso area. So the torso basically would be, if I can go back to the original layer and kind of clean that up a bit, and that would be using the sketching tool here, the Procreate Pencil, and that would basically be a circle here and a circle up here, and then joining the lines here. So that kind of helps me to figure that out. I just did that in my mind without really without really. I sort of mapped it out before I got drawing it. Anyway, so we'll go back to the our studio pen here, and we'll get the black line back again, and we can create further with this character. Now we've got these legs here, and I've got them kind of basically looking a certain way. We don't have to always do that. We could increase the line here, and we could make them really thick at the bottom. So you wouldn't even have to really do the way you had originally tried to do it. This could be totally different. It could be just kind of a suggestion as to what else it could be. And we could give them similar hands, like little tiny fingers with big thick arms. So let's, for a second, let's take away that line. Oh, that's an interesting looking character here. Very unique, very different. Just take the eraser line here and build that. What kind of hair might they have? Or would they have hair? Maybe they wouldn't even have hair. Maybe it would be maybe it would be a big nose and a beard or a mustache. Big furry eyebrows. And by not creating too much around the eyes, it gives it a kind of an interesting look. So this could be your main character. We can put some finishing touches on them. They could be like put a checked shirt on them, maybe. I think that would be fun for this type of character. Just put a grid on their shirt, making it look like a checked shirt. That would give an interesting look to it. And then, of course, we could take our eraser tool and clean up some of those lines. But anyway, it gives us an idea what the character could be. And you could actually put an ear on them. Let's see, it wouldn't have to be a big ear. You could just put a little blob here. Having fun with this already. This is great. And then you could, well, I'm so tempted to put a hat on this guy or this person. Let's put a tam on them. They look kind of Scottish, so you might be fun to put like a tam on them. And let's make the hat kind of a tartan color, or a tartan texture, if you will. Here, that could be a good character for something. But the way Norman Rockwell did these great cartoons is he would build backgrounds around them. So while we're doing this, let's go back to our rough drawing here, and we'll just use our sketch tool again. And let's block out this one here. So let's actually create a new layer for the background. We'll just get rid of that altogether. Maybe leave this one here. So what we're going to do is put a layer underneath this black line figure here. And we're going to use the blue and the sketch tool. So I'm going to go back to sketching and use a Procreate Pencil, which is a really handy dandy tool there. And should be good. I think I'm getting a bit of light refraction. Let me just shut that light off there. That's better. I'm not getting the light refraction off the ceiling there. So anyway, let's go back to our drawing. So let's use the Procreate Pencil. We're using the light blue pencil, and we are trying to build a background for this character. Now, what would be a fun situation to put him in? He could be, let's see. Well, we could put him in the Scottish Highlands. We could try that. Or we could just put a hill behind him, so maybe some rolling hills. Just to start with, that'd be would make sense to do that. Or we could start with this. Who knows whether this will end up being this. And we could put some, what kind of things could we put in the background? We could put some trees. Let's start with some nice pine type trees here. And just rough them in, just kind of sketch them in. We're just basically building a nice little environment for the character to do his thing in, his or her thing. And they look like they're walking, so I'm going to build a wee road here for the guy to walk through. And you could continue that on the next hill there and have it go off into the distance here. And we could, on this side, we could have, well, we could have some buildings here. Do a little, just roughing these out. This could be like buildings and so it'd be a little town he's walking from. And let's see, we should probably, I think the drawing is great, but we've got this guy all by himself. I think to make a cartoon, it's nice to add another character or two to kind of give a bit of dynamic between characters. So I think for this one, I might just add a turtle here on the road that this guy is meeting up with. So why, what the dynamic would be between this guy and the turtle, we don't really know, but you could use your mind to think of it. What if you were this person, or if you were the turtle and you happen upon the situation, what would be something you might do, or what might happen? So you could make it a cartoony turtle. The turtle could be angry. The turtle could be happy. Let's zoom in on this character and see what we could do with them. And I'm going to use like a reddish tool here to kind of give it a bit of contrast here. I think I might just make this turtle kind of unhappy, kind of burned up about something here in the situation. See, that's the thing. When you get a couple of characters, a good thing to do is to have one of them have an emotion. And once you do that, you can quite often find a way to build into a situation, build into a circumstance that might be a funny gag or might be a funny story. So here the turtle's walking towards this person here. Not very happy. Put a few more details in here just to. So why wouldn't he be happy? He or she be happy with this character here? Anyway, it could be either he's in his way or he's going too fast. He could be saying, I'm just going to erase some spot here so I can create a bit of a dialogue here. So this is kind of a typical joke for turtles, of course, because they're not fast, but he could be saying, you dang speeder. Because he's not walking terribly fast, but to this turtle he could be. So it kind of is a fun little idea. So that's a very bizarre example, but the whole idea is you're building. You start with a character, one character, or start with one figure. You add details. And then you start adding characters, and then a situation emerges. So we're going to do this. We're going to do something else now. If the first one doesn't work, you go back to the old drawing board. We'll get rid of that layer there. Get rid of that one too, and we'll just build something else. We're going to come up with some other idea here, and let's build a new layer here. So okay, that one didn't work, or maybe it did, or might down the road be a good idea. And we're going to go use our black line again. This could be an animal character. This could be like I really like the idea with the big eye on the outside. So I'm going to go back to that. I'm just going to go to the inking tool again, and we're going to that big eye on the outside of the face. And we're going to kind of give that teardrop, upside down teardrop look again. This time I'm going to give the character an elephant's trunk. So this time we've created an animal character for our main character. We'll put a couple little ears on him or her. And we will give them elephants' feet. Yeah, the turtle that we just drew actually reminded me that we could create this main character as an animal. This could be a turtle, or sorry, an elephant, I should say. Could be a turtle too. But for the sake of what we're doing, let's make it an elephant here. Okay, so we have an elephant as our main character. We'll just take out the rough drawings there, and we'll kind of clean up some of the details here, just add a few details. Elephants would have kind of wrinkles around their elbows and knees. So let's add those now. And wrinkly skin in general, they would have kind of and I should make sure I add the tusks in the right places as well. Elephants' tusks. We'll take our eraser here, clean that up a bit. Okay, so now we've got a similar pose, but now we've created this upright elephant here walking on 2 feet. So this could be, I don't know how many characters you're familiar with. I'm a bit older, so I'm familiar with a character named Elmer the Safety Elephant, who was a upright standing elephant like this. So this isn't a far reach for me to create this. This is something I've seen in my lifetime, a character that I saw on television like that. An elephant. Okay, so we're going to create a new layer here and put it underneath that black line of the character, our main character. Now, I'm kind of getting a very fanciful type, almost like a Mr. Dr. almost not something you would see in everyday life. And it just is coming to me what I'm putting on the screen now. These little land formations, which may or may not exist in real life, but they exist in this world because this is a very surreal type of character too, and could have this very unusual backdrop here for the character. And we could even put in strange birds or flying creatures. It might not even be a bird. It might be, let's just put in a creature that might be flying here. Just put some wings here. And what kind of critter could fly? I wonder, that would be an unusual thing to show. Maybe a flying, maybe a flying turtle. That could be fun. We could have like a sea turtle flying. That would be interesting. That's what kind of world this could be. Just a very unusual, unlikely world. Another character here. Let's see. It could be another. Let's just build this part out here. It could be another type of creature up here too. It could be a a creature with no head, but with a very powerful body, and maybe its eyes on its chest here. That's an unusual character to have. So this could be like just your own fantasy world here, with the flying turtle and the upright elephant and the kind of really unusual background. And you could spend, in fact, I might just start to do that now. What kind of world would this be for the character? What kind of things would he do? Maybe he'd be the king of this world. So we could even add that in, put a little crown on him. I don't know why, but I feel like he needs a crown. He's like, he looks pretty happy and pretty satisfied with this place, and this guy doesn't look too happy with him. So it could be a dynamic between these two characters. This could be the bad guy, the kind of the person that doesn't want to obey in the kingdom, and the elephant king here looks like he's in command here. What's going on here? You could have a lot of fun with this world. In fact, I'm going to now that I've got that black line already established for our main character, start to take our line here and create with the studio pen and the black line, start to put the details together for these other figures here in the story. This is our flying turtle. And what kind of things would they have? Oh, that would be have a shell, of course. Wouldn't have to be terribly detailed here. Just your typical turtle-looking detail here. So that's your flying turtle. And our figure here, this very unusual. We could put a little tuft of hair at the top. The idea here is to just let your mind flow. Where could you take this? You know, this, maybe you're just doing this. This is your first drawing of the day and may not go anywhere. On the other hand, you may say, oh, I like this. I think I could make a weekly story of this, or I could make a graphic novel based on this situation. You never know where it can go. It's just letting your mind wander and letting it lead you, instead of you I got to come up with an idea for this cartoon. Sometimes it's more fun the other way, when the ideas lead you. Here we go. And some of these backdrops here too. What would be the texture of these? That's always a lot of fun too. How could you? Would they be a rough, rocky? Probably would be in this situation. Probably be rough and rocky and really rough, edgy. kind of thinking it looks like a Dr. Seuss type of world here. If you're familiar with Dr. Seuss, it's very surreal. The backgrounds were very surreal. They wouldn't be something you'd find here, but in his mind, he created these amazing backgrounds, which I think we all, a lot of people now are not very happy with Dr. Seuss because of some content that he did. But of course, he was a man of his time and created based on his experience at the time. And he was in the military, and he saw some things, I guess, that affected his work that is not popular now. But this sort of thing was like nothing anybody had experienced. This backgrounds and the sort of environments that the characters acted in and did their thing in. And then we'll put our crown on our king elephant here. So this seems to me to have a few more possibilities. So what we could do here is just take out that and put in a few colors here. Just add some colors in. So what we're also going to do, I'm just going to clean up our turtle's head here a bit. Just give him a little more character. So I'm going to create a new layer now underneath that one. I'll hit the layer bar there, and I just create a new layer and tuck it underneath layer 2. So we're going to do some coloring now on this layer. And I'm going to even not do these characters in colors that you would normally see them in. An elephant, you wouldn't likely see them in this color. So I'm going to take this and go to a texture here. There is a lot of different textures you can do in Procreate that are a lot of fun. So let's try some of these textures here. There's, there's some great ones here. Let's try the Signet. And what I'm going to do is take it from the, reduce the opacity and increase the size of the brush tool here. So we're just going to colorize our characters here. And the reason I have lowered the opacity is because I can do a bit of shadowing here, do a bit of at the lower part, just kind of fill it in a bit more and give it a bit of light, show you the light direction a bit. You wouldn't see an elephant that colors, which makes it a lot of fun, I think. And I'm just going to increase the opacity a bit here. And so the lower part will maybe just fill in a bit darker here and a little more control on the brush here. And just darken that. Yeah, that's liking that a lot. Yeah, and you would not see an elephant that color. That would be so much, so odd to see that. And then we can also get white here, and we can get our inking tool here. Yeah, see how easy this gets. You start to get ideas, and then you start to build, add details in because you're inspired by the subject here. And this is what's happening in this case here. So I'm just going to put white in the tusks and in the eyes. Yeah, because I think that's really important to have it for the character. So we have a sky here too. I'm going to do the sky next. What kind of sky would be in this world? Let's see. I'd think maybe a green sky. Yeah, or maybe a red sky. Maybe a purple, orange sky. Let's try that. And we would do. I would do anyway, and whether you would or not, I don't know, but I would make it a brush tool. So I would kind of gently color in the background with a brush tool, and I would take down the opacity here and make it soft. You take the brush up down a bit. Kind of an orange sky. Ooh. Just the adding of color just brings a bit of life to it, even if it's not fully together yet. It just brings a bit of life to it. And again, you don't want your colors your background to overpower your main action. And that's a lesson that I've been trying to teach all along too. And we'll just add a bit more of the sky here. And it could be like blue clouds. It could be a totally opposite color for the clouds. That would be fun here. Let's make them blue clouds. Yeah. So there could be blue clouds kind of wafting along here in the sky. Okay. Our character here, he's kind of looks like he'd be green. I think he'd be like a sick green color. So that's what I'm going to do for him. I'm going to give him kind of a texture as well. We'll try that signet, I think, and I'll just give him a sick green color, like a not very attractive green. We'll play with it a bit too. Yeah, this seems to suit the guy or the character here, whoever he is, he, she, or they. And maybe even a different color of green for his hair. Maybe like a teal or a turquoise for his hair. We can just increase the opacity a bit here and give it a little darker there. And maybe some yellow eyes. I'll just change the tool to the inking tool, and I will use a studio pen here. We'll increase our opacity, and we'll make his eyes kind of a yellow. Just because we can, and because nobody's ever created this type of scene before. And then our turtle here, well, a turtle would normally be green, but let's just play with that a bit. Let's make him kind of a pink. Let's make him a pink turtle. Or a purple turtle. Let's see, he could have yeah, let's go back to the textures again, and we'll just kind of play with the textures a bit here. A purple turtle. Interesting. This is such a unique world. So see already the fun we're having, the unique background, the unique colors. You're creating something that you've never seen before, that you've certainly never explored before. We'll make some of the spots kind of the green again. And what do we make his body? Maybe that purple or that orange again. I'm just going to that orange. There we go. Very unique turtle character. And his underbelly could be a nice pink. And what we'll do for that is take that away, and then we'll just make a nice pink here in our CMYK, and we'll color his tummy nice pink. We'll even make it more pink. That's if we can. No, it's not making it pink at all, actually. That isn't either. Yeah, we want it pink. There. Okay, I'm saying it, but I'm not doing it very well. There we go. And kind of a pink. His eyes could be pink too. There we go. What a unique character. And some of these backdrops here, what kind of colors could they be? They could be nice, bright red. Have fun. Just explore it. And even if it's rough and a lot of texture, it doesn't matter. You're creating this world. This is let your brush go nuts. You're creating this whole realm that nobody's ever seen before. And I hope you're feeling like I'm feeling, like it's creating this whole creativity going through you, pulsing through your body. Just like very good at for waking up the creativity in a person, I think. And I think you could make this grass kind of a orange grass or orange, moss or whatever's going on the top of these mushroom type landforms here. So there you go. You've got a really interesting world here. And you could even make his crown, the king's crown, a kind of let's make it a nice purple pink too. Could be and then just because we can do it, we'll make it shiny. We'll give it a little bit of texture here. We'll take it back to the airbrushing, and we'll amp up the opacity a bit here. But we can just a couple lines here and make it look like it's shiny crown. Take a eraser tool here, and I will amp that down a bit, and we'll just kind of clean up the edges of the crown. And even by doing that, we're making it glow a bit, giving it a bit of a glow around the background here too. So, all right. So there you go. There's your little world. What's the world? Who knows? But it could be the world of this king elephant, who's kind of keeping an eye on this guy back here, who's not a very nice guy. He's kind of the bad guy of this story. He might be trying to overthrow the king. I mean, it just creates a whole lot of ideas. And this could be just one of the characters in the land as Flying Turtle. Who knows? In this really bizarre background land with the green clouds and the orange sky. And that might just sit in your sketchbook and might never see the light of day anywhere else too. It's totally up to you. It's totally where it takes you. And that's part of the fun of what we do with cartooning and with illustration. So that actually took us a little further that time. So that was fun. So we're going to go back to this figure again. This little figure has really created a lot of fun stuff for us. Let's even take them. And I'm just going to now go to our tool here, and I think we can flip it horizontally. Okay, so we flipped the character here a bit. We've kind of do another thing here. We've done a lot of male type figures, so let's do a female type of storyline here. So we'll create a line here. So what kind of female could we make for the character? So again, I will take the black line. No, I don't want that one. I want the inking tool. So I want the studio pen, which is this one right near the bottom. And I see must be the internet connection today. It's really slow today. And now with females, I find that it's nice to soften the features a bit and give accentuate the eyes and the mouth. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give them lips here, and maybe just a little heavier eyes, a little heavier lines on the eyes there, just to give it a little face, and we maybe give them nice hairstyle here. Okay. And so what we're going to do now is kind of build the body here. So the female body is usually a little, okay, let's just do the core of the body. We're not going to put a lot of the details. So the kind of hourglass shaped, if you will. And we might just put knee-high skirt on this figure. We'll kind of fine up the legs here, make the feet a little smaller. And oh, that's not a very good line there. Let's try that again. Oh, I'm not liking that either. It's the angle I think I'm holding the pen at that is giving me the trouble here. So we'll just kind of give that a bit of a angle here. Here, okay, and we'll just put some arms. We need some arms, and we need maybe something for her to do now as well. So we'll just work on that a bit. Maybe she could be. This could be fun. So her arms would be finer too, I would say. I'm just giving, build the fingers in later, but give her the main shape of the hand, I think, first. So she could be saying hi to somebody. That's what I'm getting the impression of. She's waving hi to somebody. And what kind of backdrop could we put her in as well? Let's just take off that lower line. So, yeah, we could. What kind of environment could we put her in? Let's just put that below figure 1 here. So we're going to do a rough sketch of what we think the environment should be, because this is our little world here, right? So it could be another a female here, another female character, or it might be let's see. Might be something entirely different. I'm going to do the sketching tool here, and we're going to take the Procreate Pencil. And it could be another female character. I think we'll just keep the theme being the female characters here. And maybe she's pushing. Could be a walker. It could be a senior citizen lady with a walker. And turning back to look at our main character here. Okay, so I could maybe put some glasses on them. Oh yeah, that's looking like a senior citizen there. And so that would be one character maybe here. And maybe there could be another person walking the other direction. So we'll put them in a walking, pacing type of pose here. And they would be facing this direction, the opposite direction. So this is just kind of setting up the environment. So they could be walking a dog or something. We could just have a little critter here. This is how, I'm sure this is how Norman Rockwell came up with a lot of his cartoons, just adding elements, adding things that would look interesting later. Okay, so this could be another lady here walking her dog, and of course the hourglass shape is a way we could tell it's a female, and she might have long hair. I don't know. Might be walking that way. So because we have a lot of walking, we'll just kind of ghost in a sidewalk here. Could be a sidewalk, and we could have this could be in front of a house, so we could kind of ghost in a house here. Front of a house, driveway. Could be a car in here. And we're just kind of laying it out. We're not putting any details in here yet because we're not sure this is what we want. This might be totally not what we want. Then there could be another house here. And anyway, so we've got these two characters here. These are going to be the interacting characters in our little scene here. So I'm going to go back to the line drawing here and make that a nice black line. We're going to give us the brush tool again, the inking, and then the studio pen. So I'm going to take the, yeah, this is really rough. I'm really going to have to maybe tighten this up a bit. It's really rough. But that's what we do, right? This is what our job is as cartoonists, is to do a clean drawing, make it look like it should look. If we don't do it this time, we might do it the next round. You know, it's the way this is. You just take the line down, maybe put some wrinkles on their face here. And then we'll tighten it up for the heavier lines here. Some fingers clasping the walker here. I don't really like those fingers. I'm going to just erase them and redo that and this is what I do quite a bit, is I say, oh, I think I see the hands, but then I draw it and I think, oh, I didn't see it very well at all. So then just draw this walker. It's kind of you're very mechanical here. The lines there. Yeah, I really liked this the discovery that a student showed me, how to hold the pen when you try to draw a straight line, and then you hold it, and it actually draws it for you in Procreate. That's something that that I really appreciated. Thank you to that student, and to all my students, of course, for all their support and coming out to my classes. I hope we see you again when things open up again, and I hope that will happen in the next few months, but if not, whenever it happens. And so we'll have this figure here, kind of get the dress on here. We'll show the leg walking along, and the other one is just ahead here inside the walker. And we have these two figures here. What it could be like, hi, Mrs. Jones. How are you feeling today? And she might be saying, oh, a little better today, or oh, not very good, or I've had a bad day. Who knows? You make up your own dialogue there. But anyway, it's a building block to what comes next, and which is really fun. Anyway, I think that's a really fun lesson. It's going to be hard for me to stop now. So that's a good lesson and it's a good exercise for creating and building a scene, building figures. We had a lot of fun doing it. I really had fun doing this one of this fantasy universe, but it may not be your cup of tea. But the goal is and the whole idea is to just try it, go for it, see where it takes you, and don't stop. Keep going until you come up with something that you really think will take off. And I think with that, I can turn it over to Tom. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks, Jeff. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that as well. It's always fun just to sit back and take this workshop in, as well as when I'm just teching it here. So it's yeah. Thanks so much, Jeff. And I just want to remind everyone so that we'll have This will be ongoing. So this we'll have these online sessions March, April, May, June. So we're just finalizing the dates on that, and then we'll be putting that into the schedule. And then, like Jeff said, we hope to see you again soon in person. We're looking to resume our Adventures in Digital Arts programming, just getting all the final details for that as well. And we should be doing that quite shortly. So that's really great. So thanks again, Jeff. Just want to thank all our partners on this project again. So we have the Canada Council for the Arts. Then we have our library partners, Blue Mountains Public Library, Collingwood Public Library, Wasaga Beach Public Library. Be sure to check out all our programming, tbmcs.ca, on our website, and check out the iPads that you can take out from our library partners. So you have a library card, go check it out. iPad, it's loaded with Procreate, so you can draw along with what Jeff's showcasing here, and you can also rewatch this. So this will be, once we're done, it's available to rewatch right here with this link that you've signed up for. So it's really that's our process. So you can watch, you can rewatch, and then help continue your learning process. So thanks again, Jeff, and thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.